Korea University is one of my biggest regrets in life. Okay, that's a little harsh and I'm being kind of over dramatic, but to be honest with you, I never felt like I was part of Korea University since my freshman year till now as I'm graduating. From start to finish, I never belonged. The saying reach for the sky is applied literally in Korea. This country is known for sky universities. Seoul National University, Korea University, and Yonsei University is like the Ivy League of South Korea. From what I heard, those who get in are the top 1%, the students who rank the highest in the class. They sacrifice their teen years to dedicate all their time into studying because the higher the Korean SAT results, the more high-ranking universities you can apply to. That's why some students start preparing at a young age by going to multiple academies, having private tutors, telling themselves that for now they'll suffer, but it'll all be worth it because they'll finally start living life and have fun once they get into university. While this was going on in Korea, I was in Thailand going to an international school doing fun after school activities like dance and theater because all I had was time. Time to play tag around the playground, time to bike with friends, time to film funny music videos, time to make mistakes, time to be a clueless, naive, happy teenager. My parents never gave me the pressure of having to only get A's, maybe because I did well in school regardless. But I do remember that when I studied for exams, did my assignments, chose extracurricular activities, my decisions weren't centered around doing all this to get into a prestigious university. My decisions were simply influenced by what I wanted to do at that period of my life. Some may say that's foolish of me for not preparing for my future, but I think I was just being a happy, innocent teenager. So my teen years were full of fun parties, wild memories with friends, while getting above average grades. I was having fun, living life, doing everything I wanted, but still managed to get accepted into one of the best universities in Korea. While on the other hand, Korean students dedicated their whole life into disciplining themselves from doing what they want to doing what they need in order to get into Korea University. So as you can probably tell, even my beginnings were different. Not only did I grow up abroad, but my application process, the acceptance criteria I had to meet was different from Korean students. So there was this view that international students like me got in easier, which I couldn't deny because I didn't grow up going to multiple academies, staying up all night to study, the pressure of getting good grades with one goal in mind. Of course, I worked hard and did well in school, but I still felt like I couldn't stand up for myself when the Koreans judged me for getting in easier. To be clear, I was never publicly discriminated, but it just felt like once they realized my background, there would be a shift in mood. Call me crazy, but it felt like in their heads, with disappointment in their eyes, they were thinking, oh, you're privileged. So from the start, I felt like I didn't deserve to be part of this prestigious community. On top of all that, I was Korean, looked Korean, but didn't have what it took to fit into the Korean community because my Korean was not as good. English was more comfortable for me. I didn't get the Korean slangs or jokes or the cultural references they grew up with. I would like to argue that in some ways, it was harder for people like me than foreigners because from the start, foreigners looked nothing like Koreans, so they approach them with low expectations. But for me, since I look Korean, I blend into the community, but once they realize I'm not what they expected, they get confused, uncomfortable, and distance themselves. Also, since my whole life wasn't centered around getting into Sky Unis, I didn't have the same level of fiery pride and sense of achievement these students had. There was a time when I was kicked out of a group project because my Korean wasn't good enough. A time when the group members deleted and changed all my work without even asking me because I guess it wasn't good enough. As a person who grew up thriving and taking the leader role in group projects, did well on exams and assignments, got compliments from teachers, felt confident in my extracurricular activities, that version of me was taken away because I didn't feel good enough when I came to Korea University. I wasn't Korean enough to be with the Koreans, nor was I foreign enough to be with the foreigners. I didn't belong anywhere. After coming to Korea, I realized what I had in my international school community. The friends I grew up with were very special and one of a kind. I went to one school all my life, and our graduating class was around 40 people, and most of them I've known since kindergarten. So in a way, I grew up in a sheltered, privileged environment. Pain is part of growing up, right? So for me, among other things, Korea University was part of that pain. And now I'm finally graduating. To make things clear, I don't hate Korea or the people or this university. I'm aware and grateful for the opportunities and privileges I've received from being a KU student. I truly am. I'm just speaking from my experience, and to some people, Korea University was the best time of their life, which I totally respect, and I can see that. So for me too, along with bad experiences, I also had great ones as well. Going to Goyeonjeon, a famous sport competition against Yonsei University, going to Ipshilenti, where K-pop idols come to perform, and most importantly, I met great, genuine friends who accepted me for who I am and have been by my side since year one through thick and thin. If you cannot accept change, you cannot accept growth. So in the beginning, I didn't want to accept that I was different, that I wasn't Korean enough or even foreign enough. I didn't want to accept that my close friends were now in different countries and that as you grow older, it's harder to find genuine connections. I didn't want to accept that my uni life wouldn't look like what I saw in the movies, having a large group of friends to party, date around, do crazy things together. But once I accepted that I can no longer live in my past sheltered childhood, I started to see the blessings, the opportunities, the memories, the genuine friends that accumulated over time in Korea. I learned that life is all about perspective. There's a saying that says your perspective will either become your prison or your passport. Korea University was my prison. I felt stuck, unloved, misunderstood, stupid, weak, and just not good enough. But soon I realized changing your perspective changes your experience. Korea University is now my passport. This place helped me realize that I may not be Korean or foreign enough, but that's the beauty of who I am. There's a mixture of Koreanness and internationalness inside me. This allows me to see the world in a bigger picture and a ticket to live anywhere in the world. This comes with the stress of not knowing where to settle, not feeling like you belong anywhere, but if you change your perspective, it means you're free. After 17 years, my student identity is coming to a close. Now I'm free to choose who I want to be, where I want to be. For now, I'll be working at Japan Tobacco International, a company that is part of the top 5 tobacco companies worldwide. Since it's an international company in Korea, I feel like it's an embodiment of who I am. The job searching process was so exhausting and stressful, and as a person who is not careerly ambitious, it made me question what I want to live for now that I'm no longer a student. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure that out. My purpose, my goal, my direction in life. I know society tends to force us to figure out the meaning of life as soon as possible, but come on, who can answer such a question so quickly? I believe that life is about perspective, and since humans see the world in different ways, my journey and other people's journey won't be the same, and that's perfectly normal. Korea University was not what I expected, but in the end, time makes us forget, and love makes us remember. So I would like to thank all the moments, the friends, the professors that made me feel loved as I'm closing this chapter in my life. Thank you, and goodbye.